It's Wednesday night. It's Wednesday night. Have you heard that? They do one for Friday, don't they? Why don't they do one for Wednesday? It's Wednesday night. Have you heard the Friday one of that? It's an old remix. It's a remix on the old song "Push the Feeling." Do you remember that by the Nightcrawlers? If you are a clubber of the 90s, you will know that one. Fran Green will know that one. A very good evening to you, gang. It's Wednesday night, Wednesday the 10th of March 2021. A very good evening to you, and welcome to tonight's United Kingdom talk, coming to you from Bracknell in Royal Berkshire. Good evening to anyone who's brand new tonight. Hello to you. Welcome along. You've been sitting there listening to the music. I changed the music quite a lot, as you may notice now. What did we have we had the house mix tonight. I think Monday we had the classical mix. Sometimes we have the pop mix. There's all different types. There's an R&B one, but some of that's got like rude words, like F this and that. I just don't believe in doing that, really. Now and again you get one in accidentally. Perhaps someone throws one in when they're on a phone call or something like that and gets really excited. Oh, wow, I just swore on Chris's YouTube channel. Whoopee-doo. In the sad, lonely, pathetic lives, do something like that. When it slips out, I'm not that bothered, But I just don't believe in doing all that. Swearing on your streams or anything like that. It's a bit wet and windy here today. It's not like been pouring down with rain. I was just talking to Auntie Brenda, who's in a place called Tring in Hertfordshire. Delightful bungalow she's got there, but very lonely. Very lonely since her husband died, my uncle, about, must be 5 or 6 years ago now. And she's there on her own. It's a terrible thing, really, loneliness. I mean, even I get lonely. I'm here on my own. I know my mate's up the road, but, he's not always here, or even when I'm at the caravan. And it's great being able to go and see nieces and nephews and sisters and this, that and the other. But then you go back and kind of you're on your own. On the other hand, I can do as I please, So it's 6 of 1. You can't have everything in love. My nan used to tell me that. Did she tell you that? You can't have everything in life, my boy. When I was, I don't know, teenager. You know how it is when you're a teenager. You think the whole world revolves around you, don't you? Piers Morgan still does. He still does. The whole world revolves around. Do you think the whole world revolves around you, my boy? That's what Nanny Hayes used to say to me. And then she'd give me a mint or another pound coin out of her handbag, like I mentioned on Monday. Yeah, take that. Don't tell your mother. Sweets as well. Anyway, some text coming in. If you're new to the show, welcome along. There is a chat box. You may be in the chat box, but if you try and send me a message on that, I don't go in the chat box at all. That's just for you to talk to each other. Please use the text number at the top left-hand corner there, or you can send an email. There's the email address, okay, if you want to do that. The text number, top left-hand corner there, 07451 287 337, all right? 07451 287 337. Email address is chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk, and we'll open up our phone line a little bit later on. Well, I say phone line, there's hundreds of lines coming in here to the studio. Like, operators are standing by at the moment. That they know the phones are not on yet, but they are available there if you want to have a little chat to them first before you call me. Okay, no one will answer the phone yet. They're still on the tea break at the moment. I know it looks like they're working. They're working on my show. That's all my operators there, standing by to receive your calls. And one will be selected at random and put through to the studio a little bit later on when we start chatting away. Okay, let's just do some of your text messages coming in there at the moment. A very good evening to Rachel Wheatland. She's sending in her weight at the moment because we always do weigh day on a Wednesday. Unfortunately, I completely forgot. Well, I didn't forget. It's one of those things that comes in your head. It's weighing day today. As I crawled out of my coffin this morning, Rachel's got a coffin. She has. It's a decoration, a piece of art she's got in her house. She's got an actual coffin, not one of those, dear. An actual coffin in her house. How fabulous is that? I think it's lovely. What would you like on the we could have done that. What would you like on the inside of your coffins? Was there something you like? Don't be boring and miserable. Oh, I'm dead, so it don't matter. Try and be a little bit creative in your minds rather than finding fault all the time. If you want to find fault, have a look in the chat box. There's a lot of it in there. I'm not there. All right. Yes. So Rachel's just sent in her weight already. 11 stone Well, 11 stone 7, so she's just gone up a little pound this week. We don't worry too much about that, Rachel, my love. You can always lose that in a week. As I say, I didn't weigh myself because I forgot. I got out of bed. Oh, I just weighed myself. Oh, I just put the kettle on. Then I forgot. You've got to do that. Things like that, I have to do them now. It's a bit like this show. You know, you'll be doing something. It can be anything. You could be sitting on the toilet, making a cup of tea, having a walk around, collecting litter, and then something will come into my head. Oh, what about that for the show today? Now, I have to write that down or tapper into my little phone in the notes section of my iPhone. I have to type that in. Otherwise, a minute, 30 seconds later, it's gone. And then you remember that you thought about something. Now, what was that I thought about a minute ago? No, it's gone. Bit like dreams. You know when you have weird and wonderful dreams? I bet you've had some wonderful dreams over the years, haven't you? A few nightmares here and there, but some wonderful dreams. You wake up, you might just about remember that dream. If you want to remember it later, you have to write it down straight away, or you can record it on your Amazon thing. You know, you can speak to it. Well, can't. You know, when I say speak to it, you know, you've just woken up. Oh, Amazon, take note, make this note or something like that. You know. You've got to record it straight away, either by writing, because in a minute's time, you will have forgotten that dream, and no matter how much you rack your brains, you won't remember it, will you? Eh? We like dreams. Well, I'm the same with the ideas for the show. And I don't really sit in here and think, right, let's put a show together. It comes throughout the day. In fact, the day before. As soon as I finish tonight's show, that's it. I'll start work on the next one, which is on Friday. And little ideas, I might go down and see something on the telly tonight. I've run out of notebook. The lovely Denise Andrews sent me a handmade notebook just after Christmas as a Christmas gift. Thank you very much. I finished it. It's gone. It's gone. So I've got some bits of paper downstairs and I jot down bits and pieces, and that's how it works. And then throughout the day, then I come in here a few hours before, actually, now that don't have to rush everything in the morning, a few hours during the day, and I kind of put together some sort of schedule. Never stick to it. Never ever stick to what's written down in front of me or is on the screen there. That's how it works. Little ideas come into my head, you know. Okay, so Rachel Wheatland, 11 stone 7. I'll weigh myself tomorrow, so I'll give you my weight on Friday. Okay, Mike in Brighton, good evening, Mike, says, thank God it's Wednesday and you're safely back in my screen. Greetings to you, Mike. I'm back on your screen and you're back in my... on Monday, you only gave us 1 hour, so I had to watch the show twice to get my fix. You didn't watch it twice? Surely not. How the hell do you watch this once, let alone twice? It's crap. It's all crap. All crap. You know that. How can you watch it twice? Yes, we cut the show down to an hour on Monday, which I had intended to do to watch the Meghan and Harry show. What did Daniel Woodhouse call it? Harry Grayson's Generation Game. We watched. And I watched it. I watched all of it. Straight downstairs, watched it. And at the end of it, I'll be absolutely honest, I wondered why I'd bothered. I don't know what I expected. Of course, the usual crap. I think we knew what sort of stuff she would come out with, and him as well. And I watched it and I thought, well, that's 2 hours of my life I won't get back again. If it had been a Netflix series, which I often do, I would have abandoned it halfway through. Well, I don't know. No, because I kept thinking, all right, well, there must be something of interest here. Not really. Not really. Not of interest. Whose side do I take? That's probably what you're wondering, isn't it? Well, I see there a young couple trying to get somewhere. They want something that they couldn't have, so they've had to go in a different direction. And on the other side, I see a big family who's distraught with what's going on. So I find it difficult to take one side or the other, to be honest. You know, I really do. I like to watch things and, well, whatever you want to do, that's fine by me, you know. As long as no one's dead or anything like that, you know. I mean, there's been some very funny little TikTok videos, and what do they call those pictures? Memes they call them. To the memes or something. Some very funny ones going like that around. One I posted on my Facebook wall earlier. Someone's got the video of Meghan talking. Is it Megan? No, it's not. It's Meghan. Meghan talking to Oprah, who I think had a wig on. All that money, you'd think she'd get a wig that didn't look like a wig, wouldn't you? Come on, Oprah, love. Dear me. Have you got a job there for my love? Have you got a little job for me there, Oprah? Perhaps on your little channel that you've got there. Maybe you might want to have a little holiday somewhere. Where does Oprah go on holiday? Isle of Wight? Isle of Sheppey, maybe, somewhere like that? Orkney Islands? Where does Oprah go on holiday? I've got friends on the Isle of Wight. Would be happy to put her up. Shania would put her up. She'd go to church and all that. I bet she's a churchgoer, Oprah. Is she? Get a little job on her TV channel. Perhaps I could do something like that when she's on holiday. I don't know. Don't know. But there she was, talking with her wig on. And someone's put this video up. And Megan's saying, and she says, can't remember what she says now. It was a question, one of the many questions she would answer. And Megan goes, well, I don't know if I should tell you. I don't. And then there's a picture of an old lady, which could or could not have been the Queen. Up to you. And she go with a blow dart, which ends up in Megan's neck. And she go, like dead. A bit naughty, isn't it, eh? But we like comedy. We like comedy. None of us here are offended by anything. And if you are, you're in the wrong place. Bye. Keith Lemon's on the telly later. Go and watch him. Go and watch him with his woke comedy. Jeez. So good evening to Paul in Cornwall. Good evening to you, where it's wet and windy down in Cornwall today. There's a lot of wind on the way. Mind you, my stomach, the last few days, I can't, I'm just, and they're not like, it's not like, they're like, I don't know what's going on with my stomach at the moment. Better out than in. Better out than in, isn't it? Evening to Paul. There's a lot of wind on the way tonight, apparently. Starting very late or very early, depending on how you want to look at it. I believe it's going to be particularly bad sort of about 3 o'clock in the morning. So I quite like it when it's windy out. So I open the window. I open the window and listen to it. The only thing is, I think there's something wrong with one of my windows because a good blast and the window go and it pushes it right open rather than staying in place. So, I don't know. Good evening to Fran Green. Hello, Fran. Beautiful lady. Fran Green is in the house. I certainly know that one. Yeah, so do I, Fran. So do I, darling. There's Ollie. Hello, Ollie. I reckon you're back at school at the moment, are you? Yes, he is. Ollie K. He does a show on Reach on air. Or will be soon. What's the next thing he's doing? I did see it mentioned. Oh, I can't remember, Ollie. I know you're doing another show soon, aren't you? Was it the noughties? As in the 2000s? Was it something like that? I'm sure it was. Ollie says, evening, Chris. I was in school today, so I can't listen to your show. Well, you can listen it on the replay if you want to. It should still give you a laugh. I hope so, anyway. Your dad was there this morning, so I can't listen to your show, but I got Spanish teacher to put your show on from Monday morning. You must be joking. You're not having teachers play my show out, are you? What, in the school? Have you got like a school radio station? Some schools have that. You should join that if they've got that, a school radio station. Some schools have things like that, and you can learn like proper. You know what I mean? Proper stuff. Because this is just, I know it looks like a plush tele. I'll let you into a secret, right? This is a spare room. This room is very small. It's actually very small, this room, believe it or not. Not as small as my little studio I've got up in Lincolnshire. That's even smaller. It's tiny. I mean, really tiny in there, but you wouldn't think it, looking at it like this. He says, I've got my Spanish teacher to put your show on for Monday morning. I'll try and get JK to say hi for me, but he had the memory of a goldfish. What a boring life they have, don't they, Ollie? Just imagine being in a bowl. Just going round and round in a circle all the time. Goldfish. Eh? I had goldfish over the years, Round and round, and this blooming thing that used to go... Boom, boom. And they get very excited when you come towards the bowl, don't they? And you sprinkle a little bit of food on the top. What a funny way to eat. Have they got teeth, goldfish? Oh, I might get my finger bitten if I go in there. But they're not like a cat. You can't take them out and stroke them because they just die. Gasping for breath as you take them out of the water. Not like a budgerigar. I had budgerigars. We had 2 budgerigars. You put your little finger in there and it would hop on the finger and it would come out. And you could talk to a budgerigar. You can't do that with a goldfish, can you? What boring lives they have. Pretty things, aren't they, goldfish? I wonder, can you eat goldfish? Do people eat goldfish? Can you put them in a sandwich? I wonder if they do that at the Trawler's Catch in Skegness. Goldfish and chips. Something tasty like that. Is that appealing to you at all, Ollie? Have you got goldfish, did you say? No, he hasn't. No, it's his dad's got a memory of a goldfish. I know that, mate. Talking of goldfishes, our little lead story there is talking about snakes. Isn't it? This is Trust in Me. Oh, I love that song. In the Jungle Book. Is that still allowed? Are we allowed to still say that? The Jungle Book? Is that offensive in any way, shape or form? I'm sure it is. I'm sure there will be nothing on the telly soon. All it'll be is cookery programmes, people's doing up someone's gardens, and some old bag trying to sell you a house in Spain. That's all we'll have on the telly soon. If this carries on, the woke brigade, there'll be nothing on the telly. What about the Jungle Book? It's a ooby-doo, I wanna be like you. Sing along. I talk to you, dooby-doo, la 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 la. That one, yeah. And then the snake comes on. Trust in me, close your eyes. Like that. And there is a reason I'm talking about snakes at the moment, because who suffers a bit from asthma? Da, 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 da. Minor, very minor on my case. Now, the weird thing is, on a slightly different subject, as we go off on subjects now and again, dear, the weird thing is, since I've been getting this throat problem, and I have been to the doctor, I'll tell you about that later on, since I've been getting this, I thought the cause of it might be my brown inhaler, okay? Because the problem started about 2 days after I increased on my, not the doctor, Dorothy her name is. She's the one in the doctor's surgery, one of those people who works in prescriptions. No sense of humour whatsoever. One of those. She rings up. And I know it's them. I know it is. Right. You have an asthma review every year, right? Where or a nurse, it's never a doctor, ring you up and ask you questions, and you have to blow in that thing. I haven't got it here at the moment, have I? That. Has anyone got that? And you see the numbers and you tell her on the phone, and then she asks how many times you use this, right? And you have to lie, otherwise they don't send you enough. I like one up here, one downstairs, one at the caravan, one in the car. So you have to lie about that, otherwise they don't send you enough of them, right? Anyway. So, you say, I don't know, once or twice a week, whether it's more like 3 or 4 times a day. You don't tell her the truth. Otherwise, she starts giving you more drugs. And in my personal opinion, not that I'm a doctor or anyway medically trained, the less drugs that you can take, the better. Prescription drugs, the less drugs you can take, the better. Every single thing, every drug that you take has got some sort of side effect which may or may not affect you. Right? And one of the things on the brown inhaler is it can give you thrush at the back of the throat, which is like a fungal infection. Not very pleasant. Soreness, right? And I thought, well, maybe I've got that anyway. So I contacted the doctor, and they sent like a liquid stuff, which tasted, I don't know what the taste was really. It wasn't, it was a nice taste. You had to drip this thing in your mouth, like, or you hold it there, where the infection is. You want it around there for a while. Don't swallow it straight down. You hold it there. Mine was at the back of the throat, so I'm trying to do gargling. A little bit like Whitney Houston when she was in the bath. What? Oh, for Christ's sake, lighten up. Here we are. Here. And then you swallow it down, and it's a nice taste, but that didn't cure it. So I thought, I wonder if this is what's causing it. So I cut it out completely, which you're not really supposed to do. That was 2 weeks ago. It's made no difference to my asthma whatsoever. It hasn't got any worse, certainly. Hasn't got any worse. In fact, I would say it's now less of a problem since I stopped breathing that blooming brown thing in. Have I used this today? Yeah, once in the morning. Now, I tend to have one of these just before I start a show. But I didn't really need it. You know, I think, I'll just have one of these in case I need it a little bit later. So literally just before I start the show, when the clock's on, I go and have a little bit of that. Okay? But the brown thing has made no difference whatsoever. Now, whether or not that was 2 weeks ago I stopped that, whether or not it takes time for a problem to come back, I don't know. Don't know. But it just goes to show you. But when you ring up this old bag Dorothy at the doctor's surgery, they're insistent on you having it. You must do this every morning. Must do this every morning. Well, she's not sitting here watching, is she? Do you know what I mean? It can't be the same for everyone. It's like these naughty people who go out and take drugs at the weekend. There'll be one person over there who has 10 whatevers, nothing happens, and another one has a tiny bit and they're dead. You just don't know. Drugs affect people in different ways, prescription or otherwise. That's how it is. And I don't think that brown inhaler's doing me any good at all. In actual fact, a cough developed while I was having it. That stopped now. The cough has stopped. Could it be causing more harm than it's doing? In which case, why did they give it to me in the first blooming place? But if you've got one of these, be warned, right? If you take that out like that, okay? It's got a little hole there. The Metro is reporting a teenage girl was horrified to discover a venomous snake hiding inside her asthma inhaler. You think to yourself, well, how can a little snake get in it? They don't have to be big. Just because it's a little thing. It's like spiders. Evil things. Rachel likes spiders. Don't you, Rachel? She loves spiders. In Australia, that's like the spider capital of all places, I think, really. Although I don't know about Africa and places like that, and Indonesia and I don't know, Thailand, Japan. I don't know what sort of spiders they have there. Probably just as dangerous. But I know of the Australian ones, you see. And the really big ones, huntsmans they're called. With a H, yes. Huntsmans. Okay? These things are enormous. Enormous. And they jump. Now, they can bite you. Not poisonous. I mean, you could get an infection from the bite, but you probably won't die from a huntsman spider. The most dangerous ones are redbacks and funnel. And they're tiny. They're tiny little things. Bite of those, you need to go to the hospital, mate. Otherwise, dead. Yes, very dangerous. Well, this woman had a little snake in there. It says the teenager was bringing in her washing machine at her home in what is it? Bleebly. That's a good name, isn't it? Bleebly. They have some wonderful names of towns in Australia. Bleebly. I like that. Do you? Bleebly. That's in Queensland in Australia, a place where I have been, and it's a lovely place. Bit hot in the summer. You don't want to be in there in the summer. It's really steamy, oppressive heat. I was there in the autumn, their autumn that is, and it was very warm then. It was like 80, 90 degrees. Had a little room on the ocean. Oh, it was lovely. A little private place it was with its own beach and that. Anyway, she was bringing in her washing at her home in Bleebly, Queensland, Australia, when she spotted the red-bellied black snake. I mean, it sounds evil, doesn't it? The red-bellied black snake slither out of the clothes she had just bought inside. How scary is that? Ooh. She wasn't sure exactly where it had ended up until she noticed it curled up inside the open top of her blue inhaler. She could have forgotten that wasn't there. I mean, how you would forget that, I don't know. And then breathed in the snake, only to go directly into her lungs and eat her from the inside out. Very, very scary. I don't want to be eaten from the inside out. There are diseases that happens, isn't there? You get literally eaten from the inside out. I don't like the idea of that. She says, fortunately, the girl called a team of snake catchers. Rachel sent me a load of pictures of spiders again. She loves spiders, Rachel. Loves them. Fortunately, the girl called a team of snake catchers. I wonder what they're called. Is there a name for those? Snake catchers? I don't know. Who managed to safely capture the reptile and rehome it. See, no need to kill these things. It's like crocodiles. You don't want to go near a crocodile. That being said, I've seen TikTok videos of people who seem to have crocodiles as friends. I'm not joking. They're in the water with them, stroking them, and the crocodile comes up and literally puts its head next to the owner's head. Sod that. Oh, I don't want to be eaten by a crocodile or from the inside out or bitten by a spider. I don't want any of these things. Lions and tigers. Oh, little tiger cubs, but then they become lions. And people have them as friends. I think you've got to be brought up with them so you would get, I don't know, you'd get to know a tiger when it was born, I suppose. And then it kind of grows up with you. It's a bit like the old case of having like dogs and cats. From a young age, they all get on well. And again, all this stuff is on TikTok. There are TikTok videos of cats and budgerigars who are friends. They're friends. And it's wonderful to see it. The budgie will come over and sort of literally sit by the cat's head. Or on top of the cat. I saw a TikTok video the other day of a cat and a mouse. And they are friends. And this mouse comes along, jumps up on the cat, which doesn't move, and goes to sleep on top of the cat. Isn't it nice? I like stuff like that. I love it. It says red-bellied, back to the story here, red-bellied black snakes are frequently found on Australia's east coast and are responsible for a number of bites every year, but no human deaths have been recorded. Well, I don't know about that. If the thing gets sucked into your lungs when you do that, innit? But their venom can cause serious symptoms, including bleeding, vomiting, and it's my favourite thing to do on stream, an impression of a vomit. I can't think of anything that's going to make me vomit. Oh, hang on, Gemma Collins. Venom can cause serious symptoms including bleeding, vomiting, abdominal pain, headaches, diarrhea and muscle weakness or pain. Awful, isn't it? Just imagine finding. So if you've got one of these, did you see the picture of the snake that I put up? I did try and put it on here. I left it a bit late to do it, actually. It was like 2 minutes to 8, and I realised I hadn't put the snake picture on here, but let's just do that now. There you go. That's the little snake. I mean, it looks a bit big. I suppose that's an adult one there. There you go. That's the snake there. Not particularly ugly, are they? You know? I don't like the rattlesnakes. You know, when their heads are and they're like that, and like a rattle, isn't it? Like this. Hey, I bet you've never seen an impression of a rattlesnake done by a human, have you? Here we go. And then they strike at you, don't they? And then they bite, and you're dead. I don't want to be bitten by a snake, or a spider, or eaten from the inside out by something, or eaten from the outside by a crocodile. No, thank you. It says here, the snake was only juvenile, although the bloke said it could give a nasty bite if scared or provoked. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Generally, if you see these things, you don't want to go near them, really, do you? You know what I mean? You don't really want to go near these things, do you? Excuse me. Let's have a look. There's Ollie again. I've got a house set on Sunday. It's a house set on Sunday morning. He couldn't connect for the last one. My school has a music tech club, but because of COVID, it's not on. Oh, that's that. Yes. When it's on, go and do it. That'll teach you. And I never learnt this stuff. I don't know much about music tech. Funnily enough, Ollie, I would love to make music. I have many ideas in my head for songs. One of the things I'd love to do, there is a song called The Credo. You'd only know it if you went to a Catholic church and they did Latin, right? There's a song called The Credo. Da, 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 da. I'd love to put that to a house beat. I don't think it would be sacrilegious. You know, everyone either worships or doesn't. It's up to them, you know, worships in their own way. You know, I don't need like a set of instructions from someone telling me what I can and can't do. You know, do you know what I mean? But I would love to hear the credo put to a house beat. As I told you, did you do any work on that at all? And you would learn that a tech, music tech thing, teaching you like Adobe Audition and things like that, you know. Very expensive to buy that Adobe Edition. Right, let's read some of your messages there. Good evening. There's Shania there. Good evening, Shania. What do you think about that, Shania? If someone was to put the credo to a house beat, you know, boom, 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 or something like boom, 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 boom. It's just a tune, isn't it? Would you... How about the words, though? Maybe just the music, eh? Maybe not the words. What do you think of that, Shania? Do let us know. Good evening to Mandy Davenport. Evening to you. Head of Pain and Suffering. Mandy Davenport is in the house tonight, baby. Yeah. Yes. Mandy is still in charge of Pain and Suffering. Don't you worry about that, my love. You'll never lose that job, my dear. Good evening to Maureen. Hello, Maureen. Maureen's watching in London. Good evening to Alan Ross. Alan was with you tonight on Reach On Air at midnight. Hang on a minute. Is it tonight? What night don't you... There's a night you don't do. I can never remember what it is. I'll have a look at the end of the show and I'll let people know. Hello. Evening, Alan. Hello to Amelia Phillips. Good evening to Amelia Phillips, whose brother hasn't been well, but he's back home now. I'm glad to see that. His girlfriend is his nurse. Is that right? Does he make her dress up in the little nurse's outfit? Mark Bowles wants me to do that. He wants me to dress up in a little nurse's outfit. Each and every one to their own. That's what I say, my love. Who are we to think that anyone's strange? You know, a certain elderly person, very old, whose nephew watches this, or whose grandson watches this program, thinks I'm very strange. Can you believe that? Someone who thinks I'm strange can't get over that. It's outrageous. Outrageous. There he is, Mark Bowles. Good evening, hot lips. They are hot. Look at those lips. Look at those. Do you want me to have the lips like those girls do, Mark? I don't mind anything for you. How do you want me to look? You just tell me and I will perform it for you. I will turn up at your house with like that. Like that. Oh, there's again going back to TikTok. I don't know if you've seen him, Rachel. There's a bloke on there. My God, the work that he's done to his face, and it's like all puffed out like that, and lips like a fish. But he thinks that looks good. You know, I don't care what people want to do. Do what you want, but I do have an opinion of it. It's like that whole Piers Morgan thing, isn't it? He's gone now. I've been sitting here all day. I've been sitting here since last night waiting for a call at ITV. Nothing. Is it working, my phone? Phone's not working. I've been waiting for that job. ITV. They had a nice girl on there. Rashid? Is it Rashid? Lovely girl on there this morning. Did you watch it? Good Morning Britain, anyone? Lovely atmosphere with that Piers on there. But I will say everyone is entitled to their opinion. That's it. The trouble is he works for ITV. And ITV are on an agenda on their own. I don't know what's going on there, dear. It's all gone wrong. But I reckon he's got another job. I reckon he's got another job to go to already. And I reckon it's either the new news channel, GB News, or Talk Radio, or maybe LBC. One of those. I reckon he's got a job already lined up. Otherwise he wouldn't have walked. Why would you walk away? My Auntie Brenda was saying to me earlier... she was talking to me about it, and she said, well, it doesn't matter to him. He's got loads of money. No, that's pretty irrelevant, believe it or not. It's irrelevant. Now, I could have... I could win the lottery this week and have £100 million, right? I would still be here doing this for nothing because I love doing it. Barry Manilow doesn't need to go and do tours. Neither does Rod Stewart or any of those people. They need to be on a stage. So it's no good having all this money. If there's something that you want to be doing, then do you see what I mean? So he will need to find... If he's not got another job, he will need to find another one. I don't believe he's someone that can sit there and do nothing. There's a few people on here that are quite happy to do that, but there are other people, like myself, we cannot sit here and just do. Nothing does my head in. Watching the telly downstairs. Got a lovely telly downstairs. Netflix, BBC, that's all I've got. ITV, lots of stuff on there to watch, but I can't do it for hours on end. How anyone can do that, I do not know. And I know some of you like doing it. I know some of you have to do it because you're disabled or something like that. I know people that pretend that they're disabled and say that that's all they do. You know, you fit in somewhere, I'm sure. I can't do it. I can't do it, and I'm desperate to go out and do a job somewhere. I really am. So good evening to you, Mark. Hello to Weird City Citizen, who says he's disgusted at Harry. Thank you, Weird. Can I call you Weird for short? Oh, no, that's not nice, is it? Weird. No, I'll call you by your full name, Weird City. Thank you, Weird City Citizen. Hello to Clarissa. Good evening, Clarissa. Still remember dreams that she had years ago. Well, yes. Yeah, so do I. But if you remember them at the time, if you see what I mean, you do remember the occasional one. I can't remember any dreams that I've had recently, really. No. My favourite one's flying. I've only had it about 3 times in my whole life. Flying, literally getting out of bed and flying through the window somewhere else. Wonderful. Oh, wonderful. Hope we'll have that one again soon. Good evening to Sherry. Good evening, Sherry. John and Sherry are there. Good evening to John and Sherry. Hello to you, my darlings. Hello to George Bond, who says, am I on Reach on Air at the moment? Am I? James Farage tuned in on Reach on Air, is he? That's all right. Yeah, he can do whatever he wants there. As I've said before, you know, any of my work, if you want to use it, you know, that's fine by me. It doesn't bother me. I'm going to take a clip here and use it for yourself, your own thing. That's fine. No problem. Rachel loves squishing hoovers up, squishing them or hoovering them up when the kids come running into me shouting spider. Spider! Evening to Michael Lawrence. Hello to you. Danny better be lively tonight, he says there. Amelia's got the vaccine on Friday, or that'll be fine there. Ollie, we've got to say hi to Daniel Woodhouse's mum. I think it's his mum or his nan, can't remember. Yeah, it's his mum. Got to have some amazing phone calls today, I hope so. Fran, how's your dehydration going? Not too bad, to be honest, Fran. I haven't had it again at all this week. Let me just clear these... Oh, there's a couple of messages here, sorry. Yes, I haven't had it at all since I mentioned it. That's when I wake up at night and my mouth, it happened a couple of times last week, my mouth was so, you couldn't go to sleep with it. It was just bone dry, my mouth, bone dry. Yeah, but it hasn't happened again, so, you know, so. Good evening to Pete Rimington. Good evening to you, Pete. Hello to you. Have a good evening as well to you, Pete. There's Diane Jebb. Good evening, Diane Jebb. All right, Diane. Hello to Jason Hughes this evening. And Christina Hunt has now had her COVID jab. I didn't cry. My arm is dead. Oh, you've got that one, have you? Yeah, that's a fairly... It seems to be a fairly common thing, that one with the dead arm, apparently. I had the dead arm, an aching arm for about an hour and a half, I would say. No more than that. There's Dan Woodhouse. Good evening, Dan, who says, is in the Coral Reef Aquarium tonight. Danny's actually in an aquarium tonight. Don't drown, you won't be able to do any of those wonderful calls that you do. And Roy Brownlow is emailing in. Good evening to you, Roy, who says, Managing Director, Producer of Good Morning Britain here. As you're aware, Piers Morgan has at last realised you're more of a superior interviewer and TV star to him, so he's left us to replace, we hope, by yourself. We are aware that you're already busy with your million viewers show, but would love if you could fit us in on a morning to star on our show. Thank you, Megan. Right, well, I don't know. I mean, just a moment now. ITV... I just don't think I can fit you in, ITV. I mean, I'm not keen on you anymore. Since you went non-regional and took out the little Thameses and the Yorkshires and the Scottish and all that, little television companies that all came together at various times, you're just not the same as you were. You're a bit unfriendly. You're a bit woke as well, aren't you now? Woke. I mean, I'd be interested in taking over Loose Women. I'd like to do that. Get rid of those old bags. Jason, hello, my name's Janet Street Porter. And the rest of the crew on there, they're just awful. And that one in Birds of a Feather, moan, 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 moan. Not my cup of tea at all, darling. Let's just drop down there, see if we've got any... Good evening to Gary Ross, sending in an email there. Good evening to you, Gary. Right, over there, like that one. Is that another little message from Mark Bowles there? Oh, let's see. There must be a way of having Mark Bowles' messages flash up so that he always appears so I can't miss anything. I'd hate to miss, because you never know when the question's going to come, do you? You know when it is when you like someone. And you're kind of waiting. I wish they'd make a move. So, I really think perhaps there's something I can do on my mobile phone or something like that, so that if Mark sends a text message to the number up there, 07451287337, it immediately takes priority. All calls are cut off and messages disappear to just have Mark Bowles' one appear in a flash of yellow or something like that. I quite like the idea of that. Mark says, I'll moisten the dry mouth for you. That's very kind of you. Do you know what that reminds... It's a bit morbid, really. That reminds me of when Dad was in hospital. And, oh, gosh, isn't it funny how things remind you of stuff like that? Dad was in hospital and on his last days. My mum was a real carer. She was a carer, right? And she'd sit there for hours with a glass of water and a piece of cotton wool, and now and again just moistened his lips, because you get very dry. You're not allowed to drink anything, are you? I said that to you before. Like when you're in hospital and something's seriously wrong. Oh, you can't eat anything. Why not? Or it might damage him. He'll be dead in 2 days. No water, no food. What's all that about, everyone? If someone's about to die, why would you tell them you can't eat anything? Up yours, mate. So, Mark, I look forward to my lips being moistened, possibly by yours. Possibly by yours. Fran says dehydration is actually caused by too much salt. That wouldn't be my case, Fran. I don't add salt to anything at all, ever. Never add salt to anything. That being said, of course, there is salt in some of the burgers and things that I eat that's already there. But potatoes, nothing. I add salt or sugar to nothing at all. Believe it or not, no. There's Roy Brownlow. Will you buy us both a hair transplant out of your lotto winnings? Good idea, Roy. Actually, no, not a transplant. There's some really good wigs, again, on TikTok. There's some, and they make them to you. No, they're not off the shelf. They make these wigs to you, and then you go for a fitting, and they glue them. They glue them onto your head, and they look fantastic. I don't think that's what Oprah had on the other day. Thank you, Roy. Ollie, what's your opinion on wrestling? I think your reaction could be very amusing. Right, wrestling, WWF, nah. They're not fighting. Do me a favour. Nah, that WWF, it's all just a show. There's nothing going on there. No one's getting hurt. Proper wrestling, Ollie, and even your dad, I think. How old is Dad? 30-ish, late 30s, early 40s, early 30s. Even he wouldn't know. There was wrestling in the 1970s on ITV on World of Sport. Roy Brownlow would know this. Hosted by the great Dickie Davidson. And they had it on every Saturday afternoon. And they had proper wrestlers on there who would get hurt. Mick McMahon's. Giant Haystacks. Big Daddy. And Big Daddy, he was enormous. You wouldn't want him to jump on you, Ollie. You'd be dead. You'd be just flat. You know, like you see those tin cans in the middle of the road? You look like one of those if Big Daddy had ever jumped on you. But that was proper wrestling to me. And you know the ring where the ropes are? They're like kind of elasticated, aren't they? You'd have people standing on the ropes when another one had already been knocked over, and he'd literally jump on them. And you see everyone's nan, they'd be sitting in the front row. Not like the American ones. When you watch these things on World of Sport, everyone's nan was sitting in the front row at the wrestling rink shouting, "Go on, get in! Give him one!" That was proper wrestling there. Roy says Mick McManus, everyone hated him. He was the one from Peckham, wasn't he? Because we were living in Peckham. We were in Peckham as well. So, of course, we supported Mick McManus from Peckham there. All right. What are we going to tell you today? Where's my little list of things here? Because I keep them up on the internet there. There we go. So I've done the asthma thing. There's a lovely story here, a little animal story for you. Maybe you've got a pet. Have you got pets? Where has it gone? Oh, lost my story. One minute. Where's my little story there? There it is. If you've got pets, and I said to you about the mice and the cat, and they've become friends and that. There's a lovely story in the Metro today. Really nice story. A terrier. Little terrier dog, one of those white little terrier things. A terrier who uses a wheelchair. Okay, so the terrier has got a wheelchair. So basically, the terrier has no back legs. Some accident or something like that. And I'm sure you've seen videos like this, haven't you? Right? Where there's a dog, he's got the two front legs, and on the back, two wheels. And they seem to just adjust to it, animals. Maybe easier than we do. If you've had something wrong with you, or maybe you've lost something that you had. How long did that take you to adjust to that? Must be terrible. Must be terrible. Losing an arm, a leg, your sight, your hearing, your taste. It must be a terrible, terrible thing. And I think people have a real trouble adjusting to it. Must take years. Maybe some people don't even are ever able to adjust to it and just live a life of total depression because they've lost a finger or something. Anyway, this terrier uses a wheelchair and he's become a guide dog for a blind fox. Isn't that lovely? The fox learnt to follow the sound of her big brother's wheels, spurring on their sweet relationship. So it follows the dog. The dog runs along with its two front paws, dragging this thing on wheels. The fox hears it and just follows him everywhere. Isn't that lovely? West Highland Terrier Jack was taken in by a vet 2 months after she gave the 1-year-old fox Pumpkin her forever home in East Finchley in North London. That was late last year. Since then, the caring dog has looked out for her. Video footage shows docile Pumpkin, that's the fox, following Jack, the terrier, using sound and smell while on park walks. They're not tied together. He just follows her. Even cuter, when Pumpkin gets distracted, the dog, the terrier, will patiently wait for her to catch up. And animals, of course, would get distracted by smells and things like that, wouldn't they? Hey? Jack is protective, warns other cats and dogs away from bothering Pumpkin the fox. He seems to feel a responsibility to look after the fox as a brother does with a sister. And I suppose if you've got pets or something at all, they know when you're ill, don't they? Don't you think? I had some illness about 11 years ago. And I was at my sister's house. It was Christmas. And they've had some wonderful dogs over the years. One was a black Labrador called Duchess. Duchess was already quite old. But one of the symptoms I had was the total and utter lack of power. Permanent fatigue. So you know when you wake up in the morning and you feel a bit tired, well, that just stayed. Didn't disappear during the day. And I was just totally knackered and didn't want to do anything all day long. And I was laying on the settee in the living room. And this dog came and sat next to me. All right, Duchess. And then she jumped up onto the settee and just laid across me while I was laying there like that. I think pets do know if you're ill. I really do. Anyway, it says the sound of the wheels are behind her, the dog. She stop. Oh, sorry, I beg your pardon. If the sound of the wheels are behind the fox will stop, do a circle, and then follow them once the dog has moved in front of her. Isn't that a great story? You got any pets that do anything like that? Were you ill once, perhaps? Did the pet know that you were ill and started looking after you? Let us know. Phone lines open now if you want to call in. 020 8144 3477. Operators are standing by to take your calls there, my darlings. All right, 020 8144 3477 is my phone-in number, as always. There's a Skype there as well. Skype doesn't always work as well as the phone, just to warn you there. Okay, some more text messages then. Oh, I've done those, haven't I? I've done all those? Hang on a minute, has that gone a bit wrong? 1 minute. That shouldn't go wrong. I've done all those, haven't I? Oh, wait, no, I haven't. Ollie K. Oh, his dad is 53. Even that might be a bit too young, because I'm 58, Ollie. I don't know. Ask him if he remembers the old-fashioned wrestlers. Like Mick McManus, and he probably remembers Giant Haystacks and Big Daddy. I don't think they're no longer with us. Big Daddy's actual name was Shirley Crabtree. Did you know that? Shirley is a man's name as well. Yeah, odd, really, isn't it? Alan Ross is on tonight. Okay. Excuse me, I'm burping. How rude. Alan Ross is actually on tonight. Okay, so that'll be at 12 o'clock. reachonair.com. He said, talking about spiders, just as a huge one run over my floor, my wife screamed and jumped. I should think so. Spider has now been evicted. Good. Don't have spiders in the house, especially if they're not paying rent. Roy Brownlow's on the phone from Derby. Good evening, Roy.
Hello, Chris. Of course, Chris. Gladys on the switchboard.
Yes.
Got my number and lets me straight through first.
You were speaking to... Was it Gladys this morning? Because I never know which operator you're going to speak to, you see.
Yeah, it was Gladys. Gladys always puts me through first.
Yeah.
Well, because I'm VIP, obviously.
Well, actually, I was having a word with Gladys after the other show. She does quite like you, you know, Gladys. She looks out, because if you've called in before, your name comes up on one of the operators' screens while they're sitting there waiting for the thousands of phone calls to come in. Now, I know you don't know Gladys, right? But Gladys is the lady who sits at the back in the red top, second one along. That's Gladys who you speak to.
I have noticed her. I have noticed her.
Yeah, that's Gladys. You can't. I mean, obviously their names are not there because of the Official Secrets Act, which they've all signed. You know, but she's the one in the red jumper. That's the second one along from the front. That is actually Gladys, and she now looks out for your phone call. She cut someone off the other day just to talk to you when you rang in.
Maybe you could do a bit of Cilla Black, Chris.
What? Surprise, surprise.
No, Blind Date.
Da 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 da. Da, 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 da. There's this awful, I think it might be on Channel 4 or something like that. There's like a version of that, and it is vile. So this girl stands at the end of something, and there's a queue of like four boys. I call them, anyone under 30 is a boy, aren't they, Roy? You know what I mean? And anyway, so then they have to say something to them, the girl, to try and woo her, but it's just filth, Roy. It's just filth. And I'm like, my God, I'd never chat someone up like that.
What's the one where they're naked? They go naked.
Now
Naked Attraction? No, it's not Naked
Oh
Attraction.
no! I mean, that's another one. What the hell's all that about? No, thank you. I mean, just imagine if someone saw us naked. We'd never be with anyone ever again, would we?
Well, obviously, somebody you've been with has seen you naked, unless you keep
Oh
running.
no! Oh, I don't like it. I don't like it. Anyway, what you got for us today, Roy?
Oh, well, not a lot, mate. To be truthful, I haven't really been watching that much. I haven't watched the Megan thing. I haven't followed that.
Right.
Not interested.
No,
not interested.
You didn't miss anything, honestly. I don't think you missed anything. It's just on there to be in the papers and get them something to talk about, really.
To get £9 million. Someone told me she got £9 million for that interview.
Who did? Megan? Megan?
Yeah.
Why would you pay someone for an interview?
Well,
Is that I always thought.
said,
I mean, what do I know? I don't know. But why? I mean, they want to say something. It's like when these TV stars and people that make records come on the telly. I always thought that was just to promote their item, if you see what I mean. I've got a book coming out, let's talk about it type thing. I didn't know they all got paid as well.
I should imagine so, because they're making money out of that show, aren't they?
Yeah,
so
I suppose so, yeah.
They probably pay the guest, and she probably needs a few quid. I don't know how well off she is.
What, Oprah? Or me?
No, Megan and the illegitimate son.
Well, one of them were... One of them was one of the things that Harry said was that they wanted the money to be able to pay for their security.
Oh, all right. The only security I've got, Chris, is social security.
Yeah, social security. I've got cameras here. Oh yes, we're surrounded by cameras here, dear.
Oh, I have. Yeah, I have. I've got a door cam. In fact, just briefly on the story, Chris, I've rang the council today because across the road, they've changed the bulb in the street light.
They've done what?
They've changed the bulb in the street light across the road.
Oh, right.
On the main road. And now they don't put yellow lights in no more. It had a lovely yellow light in. Now they've put these LED white lights in. I've had to ring them today and said, one, when I shut my curtains, I can still see the white light. And also, my security cameras at the front window and on the door, it's glaring them out at night.
Yeah. They're not as good, those white lights. I'm sorry. If you stand underneath them, no doubt they are brighter than the orange ones. But what we found round here, we had ours. The whole borough is now LED lights, and they spent a couple of years doing it, so we've got them everywhere now. But when they replace them, if you stand directly under them, they are far brighter than the orange ones. The problem is the light doesn't seem to spread out as far. So you go between the two lights, there'd be a completely dark spot. Whereas the yellow ones seem to spread out over a larger area,
I read on the internet as well that now they're putting white lights in all over the place. The birds are singing all night because they think it's daytime all the time.
Oh, right. Oh, I've not really found that here.
The birds are dying quicker because they don't know when daytime and nighttime is now because the light's so bright.
Oh, right. Okay.
Of course, the other thing is my sister, now they took the red one out, she's got nowhere to stand.
Well, she might get a job on that Babe Station programme,
Oh, with Sharon, your sister.
Oh, but no, she's not. No, don't bring that up. She gets very upset, my love. You know the story. I don't want to repeat it again. Oh, but I will. Yeah, my sister. I don't know if you know this. I hope she's not watching. She's the only girl to ever be sacked from Babe Station because no one ever called. It's terrible. Terrible.
Well,
I spent thousands one week just phoning her, keeping her in a job.
Yeah, I actually heard that she rang the Samaritans and asked them to call her back.
Aren't you awful? Well, that was the problem. One of the other things Harry said on that interview was that his father had stopped answering the calls. Well, so would I if you kept reversing the bleeding charges from Canada, dear. God's sake. They're not made of money, the Royals, are they? I mean, he's not been selling so many sausages since the lockdown, dear. Charles.
Why, do you sell sausages?
Yes, he makes sausages, dear. I can't remember the name of the Dutchy Originals. There is, isn't they? He does sausages. Yes. I think he works in the factory. I think that's one of the things he does, works in the sausages factory.
Camilla's all right for a bit of chipolata then.
I like Camilla. A lot of people take the mick out of her all the time. I quite like her. I'm sorry, I do.
Well, I've never really followed it. I don't really follow. I'm not an anti-royalist or anything, but I don't really follow them. To me, they're just a necessity. We have to have them. It's them or a communist state or something, so they're a necessity. To be truthful, I wouldn't want to be born into royalty, would you?
Would I want to be born into royalty? No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. The stick that you must have to take. I mean, I would have been all right, years ago, perhaps when they chopped some heads off. That would make it a little bit more exciting, wouldn't it?
Well, you would have probably been one of Henry VIII's wives.
It all went wrong when they stopped chopping people's heads off. I'm sorry. That's when the peasants started getting out of control. We need to bring back head choppings.
Yeah, well, I think it all went went out of control when we stopped. When we said women couldn't work down the pit, that was the biggest mistake we made.
Women working down the miners?
Yeah.
I don't suppose. Do they have women miners now? I wonder.
No, they were never allowed, were they?
Oh, why is that then? That's not very fair, is it?
I think it was something. I can't remember what something to do. They weren't strong enough or something. I can't remember.
Yeah.
I can't remember.
You see, kind of slightly veering off on that subject there. You were saying about women, and we've got all this thing at the moment, that the whole wokery thing, and some of it I go along with. For example, women should be able to be given any job that a man can give, right? And I mentioned it this morning because if you have a look on the Reach, I don't know if you ever listen to any of the Reach on Air shows, but basically there's 2 ladies in the whole schedule. There's loads of boys and blokes on there. There are only 2 ladies doing shows on there. And I'm like, it would be nice to have more ladies on there. And like I just say to you, any lady should be able to do any man's job, whether it's running a company or going down a mine or something like that. But they never mention this, and that is perhaps the ladies just don't want to do that job. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, from my experience in radio, I find that women tend to want to do the chat shows on radio.
Yeah, is that just because they prefer doing that? Is it?
From my experience, I worked at a station, Elastic FM. Yeah, Elastic FM, and we had 6 women on that station.
Right. Okay.
But it was a station that was based quite a lot around community and chat. So
yeah, I mean, when you see like a TV program, and like half the people are women and half the people are men, right? This is where I go with this whole box ticking culture. We must have 50% women, 50% men, 50% black, 50% white, 50% gay, 50% straight, all that business. What if there aren't enough women applying for that job, or men, which means there are more men than women, because that's just how it is. But no, they say, well, you must have that. And that's why I don't go on all this box ticking culture. Absolutely, anyone should be able to do anyone else's job, not just men. But there are some jobs, take mining, for example. I very much doubt that there's many ladies want to go down a mine. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there are ladies watching this programme now who would like to go down a mine. I certainly wouldn't.
No way. I wouldn't want to.
Have you ever been down one?
No, I went down, obviously when I was at school, they took you down for the visit.
Yeah.
That was one of the biggest employers at that time. They took you down for the visit, and I thought, I'm too claustrophobic. This is not for me.
No.
And as I left school, in 77, it was sort of dropping off the mines anyway, so.
Right. Yeah, that's right. Maggie came down and closed a lot of them down, didn't she? But what an awful job. Going down that thing.
My opinion was that Scargill was 50% to blame.
Well, don't want to go into the politics or anything like that. No. But the job itself, what sort of job is that? A very, very necessary job in those years, because we couldn't have done without coal. But to go in that little cage and be dropped down a mile into the earth and then stay down there for 4 hours, and all they do is bang away with a hammer on these rocks with the chance, and it happened, as you well know, that the whole thing can come and collapse on them. What an awful way to go. Oh, it must be frightening.
I think eventually they had machines that cut the coal away. They didn't do it with hammers no more.
Yeah, but they would have done at some point, wouldn't they?
Yeah, and yet children would have done it.
Oh, what an awful job.
There's a few in the chat room I'd like to send down the pit and then close the doors and put the cable on the cage.
Well, you're very welcome to do that if you want to. Thanks for the call tonight, Roy.
See you, Chris.
Cheerio,
Bye.
my friend. Bye-bye. Roy calling in from Brownlow. Roy calling in there from Derby. 0208 144 3477 is the number there. Mark Bowles says, did I hear you want a sausage? Yeah, well, we're still waiting, dear. We wait and we wait and we wait, Mark. Don't we, dear? You know, is Tina giving you all the messages tonight? I think Tina watches this show more than you do, does she? 0208 144 3477. I've been down the doctor about this business here. I met the most delightful lady she was. She was so pretty, my doctor. Ever so pretty, of Asian appearance, beautiful long black hair, and just a nice person, unlike Dorothy. Unlike Dorothy, who never has a laugh with you. She does the prescriptions. I mentioned her earlier. Can't have a laugh with her. You see her ring up. Ring, ring. Hello, Mr. Eden. Hello, Dorothy. How are you today? Is that Mr. Eden? Yeah, hello, Dorothy. You keeping well? Still doing the old pills, are you? Just ringing about your asthma thing. And like, she just don't want to talk to you. Anyway, I'll do the doctor thing in a minute. Daniel's on the line. Good evening, Daniel.
Evening, Chris.
Evening to you, sir. How are you?
Yeah, oh, it's very nice down here.
Where? Where's? What? Are we in Romford?
Here in the Coral Reef.
Oh, yes, of course. You're speaking from a coral reef today, aren't you? I can't hear many bubbles. Do you want me to do bubbles for
Yeah,
effect?
I've got the bubbles, yeah. The bubbles are here.
Hey, who's this? Who's this? You ready, Daniel? Who's this? You ready?
Yeah.
Who was that?
Is that Janet Street Porter talking with her mouth full?
No, Whitney Houston.
Oh.
Singing in the bath.
Oh. Well, I never heard her like that one
No,
before.
not to worry, dear.
I suppose it's better than when doing that bloody song she did where it sounded like a rock dropping on her head.
What was that song? Oh, was that when she was in Australia on tour, wasn't it?
Might have been. She started going, and I will always love you and all that. And then it got to that big pause, and then it went, and I thought, oh,
Are you all right, darling?
Oh, you just done what giving my ears a
I'm very concerned about your social welfare now. She just was on the pills, weren't she, and all the drugs. What a terrible thing, really.
Well, I know it's a very bad way to go like that, but you know, she should have just done what I've done tonight. You know, just.
Well, what have you done tonight then?
Have a go in the coral reef. Watch all the lovely goldfish go by. There's some down there, some all swimming around the algae there. And there's one of them, but I've got a clue what any of these are called. I can tell they're a bit like cars, you know. Oh, there's a blue one, and there's a yellow one. Oh, there's one there with go faster stripes.
I can hear you under the water.
Oh, you can now. Well, good, good.
I can actually hear the water. I can hear. Have you got breathing apparatus on? Have you?
Oh yeah.
Turn it off and see how long it is before you die.
And there's a man just coming past me now.
Oh.
Tracksuit, great flannels is going.
Oh, is it Mark? What's he doing down there?
Oh yeah, well he's just handed me a notepad.
Yes.
And he's wrote on it. What are you doing down here, Daniel?
And what are you doing down there, Daniel?
Well, I just wrote back on it. I'm drowning.
I think you need professional help, my love. If you're watching us on Facebook Live, you're leaving us here, gang. Join us on YouTube. Go to youtube.com/Chris Reardon UK and you'll find us there. All right, my loves?
Yeah,
carry on.
It's all on YouTube. That's where all the action is.
That's where the action is. YouTube. Oh, we've got an email from YouTube. Something to do with having to fill out a tax form. Oh, I don't know what all that's about. We've all got, all the YouTube people have got something about some sort of tax form there. I don't know what they're going on about here. Oh, something else that they want to take off us, I suppose.
Well, I've had it from over in council as well. About I've got to do all this bloody self-employment declaration. I've just had to send it off. It's all like just off the top of my head.
Self-employment? Are you
Yeah, 'cause
self-employed
I'm like
then?
nothing really.
Oh, of course you are. Yeah, selling your bingo books. Yeah.
Tickets. Yeah, I mean, I'm only like. It's only like I don't even call it business. Just more like what's that word? Oh, they had a phrase for it.
Well, I very much doubt you'll have to pay any tax.
No, well, I haven't had to. I haven't reached the £5,000 threshold.
Well, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
I was going to say that.
Yeah. But actually, all this about the coral reef. Let's just get this off. Of course, I'm lying. Of course, I'm not bloody down there.
Are you not? Oh,
No,
you had
no,
us all
no.
fooled for a moment. We really thought you were there.
My own bed in Woodhouse Towers, Romford.
Right. Is that
I'm
underwater?
not mother's night. I said I can have the night off, please. He said, "Oh, all right then." So, but no, really, what it is about goldfish. Because I remember once I got off the underground at Finchley Road once on the Jubilee or Metropolitan lines.
That's a dodgy area, isn't it, Finchley? Is that a bit dodgy round there? Finchley Park?
Well, no, because what happened was I got out the station and I just was walking down the road and I come across this big shopping centre and I thought, I've got nothing better to do. I'll go in there, see what's happening. So I went in there and you know what? They've got a fish tank. They've got massive fish tank in there.
Right.
And there's a bench as well. And I sat there watching the goldfish for about an hour on that Saturday afternoon.
And what happened? Were you dragged out or what?
No, I just left at my own accord. But I thought to myself, hang on, Daniel, you've never done that before. What's got you into goldfish? Or any of them, the blue one, the black one, the yellow one, or the one with the go faster stripes. Maybe I seem to like goldfish. Perhaps I need to have an aquarium here. All this actually is because someone years ago, someone told me, and I think I realised he might have been true about it, that there was actually a goldfish test card.
Was there really?
Complete science.
Do you know what? I think I've seen that. Whether or not it actually existed, I don't know. It might have been something that someone just photoshopped.
Well, no, it sort of did actually. It was on a channel called Comedy Central.
Right.
Yeah, and they had it. It was actually. I mean, I from what you told me, I thought it was just a complete fish tank.
Yes.
But it did actually have the test card, grey overlay on it.
Right.
But the circle, instead of it being Kawawarsi and the gonk, it was actually a fish tank.
Oh.
So that has actually been found via Google and YouTube.
Was it just a picture or like a video?
Yeah, no, it was video. The goldfish were actually moving.
So they were moving around, were they? Okay.
Yeah. So that was for real. But I must have a thing for wanting to watch goldfish now.
Do you think this is something that I should shove up before the show? While the countdown clock's on and all that business.
Yes. Yes.
You could goldfish have swimming around there in a test card.
Well.
Or even.
Yeah, you could,
I think even.
Oh yeah. Do you know what? Because I remember me and Clarissa, we were talking about this a few weeks ago, and apparently we found out on that site where I sell the bingo tickets called Etsy, ETSY. You can actually buy your very own Bubbles the Gonk from the test card.
Bubbles the what?
Yeah, the Bubbles the Gonk. That was him who sat opposite Kawawarsi.
Oh, the puppet.
Yeah, and you can actually buy your real Bubbles and actually have it do your own test card.
One moment, please. ETSY, is it?
Yeah.
Small businesses, home and living, jewellery. Okay. Is there a search thing? Okay. Oh, yes. Yeah. Bubbles. Bubbles the what?
Bubbles the clown, gonk, whatever you want to...
1 moment, please. Searching. So you can... 40 quid for one of those? 40 quid for a bleeding pap? For a bear? God. I must show people this. Yeah, you got to get... Someone might want to buy one of these. Look at this. Hang on a minute. Look at this. Oh, Gary, my nephew sent me a video. I'll have to have a look at that in a minute. Hey, look, you can buy one. Do your own test cards. Perhaps that could be like a gift from someone, you know?
Yeah.
Or a bingo prize. Or what's my nephew sent me here? I better turn it. Do you want to see this or not, boys and girls? Let me just shove this up for people. Let's see.
Here's opening attempt.
Thank you, Gary, sending me a little TikTok video there. Anyway, thanks for the call, Daniel. Nice to talk to you, sir.
Chris. All right.
Cheerio.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
He suddenly went all quiet then, didn't he? 0208 144 3477. Thank you, Daniel and the goldfish tonight. We'll have to title that Daniel and the goldfish, I reckon. So I have been down to the doctor's, as I say. She was ever so pretty. And it's all very like cloak and dagger now. Where when you go to the doctor, you can't go inside straight away. You have to wait outside and someone comes and collects. And she came out and collected me bang on time, actually. I tell you what I couldn't believe. Right, so while I'm there's a few people outside. There is a lad, I kid you not, there is a lad sitting on like the railings, like which is at quite a low level, you know, like a foot off the ground like that. Not really railings, like a wooden thing that goes right round the garden bit. So he's sitting there. He's only smoking a bleeding spliff outside the doctor's surgery waiting for his appointment. I thought, what's that smell there? I saw it just out in the open, like it's a normal thing. Oh, I hate that smell. Oh, I can't bear it. There he is sitting as a... Anyway, so she called me in and I told her the problem and she gave me a really good examination of this area here and starting, you know, doing all this in areas that I probably not had the problem. So as far as I'm the problems here, right, really. But she's round the back and doing all this, that and the other. And I was in there for about 10 minutes or so, something like that, I suppose. And she sat down. She said, I can't find anything wrong there at all. Everything feels exactly as it should be. Nothing feels like it's bigger or anything. And I said, well, it's been quite a while now, about 6 weeks I seem to have had this problem. And I told her how it started. And it started 2 days after I started doing that. And I said, I stopped taking that. And I said, nothing has changed, really. In fact, the asthma's got better, if anything. She said, okay. She's listening to all this stuff. And she's writing it all down as well. And in the end, she said, she said, I can give you a scan if you want one. I can send you for a scan. She said, but I'll be absolutely honest for you. It's really more for your peace of mind than me sending you down for one. Would you like one? I said, well, if it costs a lot of money, not really. She said, oh, don't worry about that. She said, I'll send you for one. She said, it might have a little bit of a wait because they're a bit backlogs at the moment, but I'll send you for a scan, you know. And I've had this before, and they get that thing, you know. Well, it doesn't make any noise, actually. Like when the women have the pregnant thing. You know, they've got that thing, and they put the gel on it and scrape it up and down you like that. And I've had that before, and the other time there was nothing to see here, sort of, please move along, you know. So I said, well, okay then. I said, that's it. She said, is there anything else you want? I said, yes. Could it be cancer? She said, no. She said, there's the tiniest chance it could be. She said, but that would be way, way down my list of things it could. Because you know what goes through your head. When you've had something hanging around for so long, you think the worst, don't you? And I always say, you know, the more you think about it, the worse it becomes. Where it's actually not getting any worse. And she said that would be way, way down my list of things that it could possibly be. She said, I would be able to feel something. She said, and you say it started when? I said, well, but I said, back at the end of last year, I noticed when I yawned, you know, it felt like it felt like it was a cut being pulled apart. You know, if you get a cut and pull it apart and that hurts, doesn't it? It felt just like that, a cut being pulled apart. And, she said it's been going on a long while. She said if it had been anything like that, by now it would have you would know about it. She said, and you don't really. And that's where it was left. And I came out of there feeling a little bit better with myself. And that's where we are with that, really. So got a scan. Funnily enough, I made that appointment as my specialist doctor hadn't come back to me. And on the morning, I got the email back because I'd already told him, this hasn't got, because I saw him 2 weeks ago. He said, I wrote to him on the Wednesday. Well, it didn't come back to me till the Tuesday when the appointment was. And Tuesday morning, I opened up my emails and blow me down. There's an email back from him. He said, no, don't worry. Leave it another couple of weeks and see what happens. You see, so if I'd have got that before, I probably wouldn't have made the appointment. But nevertheless, I had it. And that's where we are at the moment. Nothing to sort of write home here about. All right. So quite pleased about that, really, because you do worry as you get older. And believe me, I don't know if Mark's still with us at the moment. There's Mark there. Mark's with us there. You get things as you get older, Mark. Just odd pains and things like that. I had in the side of my leg last night. I'm watching the telly. Something new. It was like someone shoved a needle in the side in the top part of my leg. Between the knee and the top, but on the side. I thought, what? And you think, what the hell was that? You get things, weird pains and sensations that you never had before. And I guess that's just one of those things with getting older there. Fran Green says that miners worked 8 to 12 hours a day. I mean, they were real men, weren't they, miners? People say, oh, what do you mean by real men? But people like miners, they're real men. Go down that hole. Oh, dreadful. Fran says fish tanks are known for lowering blood pressure. I've heard that as well, Fran. You always used to see fish tanks in the dentist surgery, didn't you? To calm people down. You just sit there glaring at this fish tank. I used to go to the dentist in Roehampton, where we used to live years ago as a little boy. Why is he mentioning Naga? Perhaps I could replay, or perhaps I could work with Naga Manchetti on BBC Breakfast. I wonder how that would work. I don't know if that would work or not, to be honest. You're on death row. Now, I mentioned this. What would you like as your last meal? If you were on death row, you'd done something really naughty, and one of those very nasty people, not nicking a Mars bar from the switch. You know what I mean. Nasty things, murders and things like that. If you'd done something like that and you were on death row, what would you like as your last meal? What would you have? And I bring that up because I have watched today a new film on Netflix, which is all about that. It's about this bloke, and he's married to a lady, and he's got 3 little girls. And there's a fire in the film, right at the beginning, in their house. And very sad. All the little girls die. And he's being blamed for it. It's a good film. It's 2 hours. Don't want to tell you what happens in it or at the end. But that's where I'm kind of getting this from. The film is called Trial by Fire. Highly recommended. It's a good watch. You need a box of tissues next to you. All right? Trial by Fire on Netflix. Give it a watch. And in this particular film, there's some prisoners on death row. And they have last meals, You apparently, if you're on death row, before you get taken to electric chair or what do you call it? Injection place where they inject it. What's that called? Is there a name for that? Where you get injected with poison and you die. Or shooting squad or something like that. Generally, you're allowed one last meal. What would it be? What would you have? Text in your answer 07451 287 337, or you can call me 020 8144 3477. Your last meal, you're on death row, you're going to die. I don't know how long between the last meal and you dying happens. Does the last meal happen the night before, or literally before you get walked down to wherever it is you're walked down to? I don't know how that works. What would be your last meal? 07451 287 337. Sausage and chips? What do you fancy? Nice curry? McDonald's? Subway? A roast dinner with baked potatoes, roast potatoes, vegetables, a couple of slices of dead animal, nice thick brown gravy. Did you get a pudding as well? What's it going to be with your pudding? Piece of cheesecake, maybe? What would I have? Chips from a chip shop, not French fries, proper chips from a chip shop. Spam fritters and baked beans. That would be mine. Chips from a chip shop, spam fritters like the ones we used to have at school, and baked beans. I think that would absolutely be what I'd want as a last meal. What about you? Let me know what you want. Let's have a look here. Fran would have lasagna and garlic bread. For Fran, lasagna and garlic bread. What about you? 020 8144 3477. George is on the line. Good evening, George.
Good evening, Chris.
What would you have then?
I was just thinking, actually, Yorkshire pudding.
Oh, would you have anything with that or just on its own? Oh, would you have, some people do Yorkshire pudding and put something in the middle, don't they? Like a bit of mince or something like that.
Well, my nan puts beef or some beef or gammon or pork in the middle.
Does she? Does your mum? Is your nan a good cook? Is she?
Yes.
I bet she is, isn't she? Does she cook you breakfast in the morning? What do you have for breakfast?
She only cooks breakfast on Sunday.
Okay, that's the same as I used to do actually. And then do you have like a fried breakfast? Do you?
Yeah, on the Sunday I have bacon, egg, black pudding.
Oh no.
And tin tomatoes.
My nan used to do lovely chips. She
Did
didn't do.
she?
Yeah, she didn't do straight chips. What she'd do is get a potato and simply slice it and fry them, like almost like thick crisps. Really, they were delicious.
My pap does that.
What is your pap? What is pap? Is that you mean your dad
Dad's, yeah,
or your granddad?
granddad.
Oh, granddad. So you live with your nan and granddad?
Yeah,
Right. Okay. So is your gran the best cook in the world? Is she?
yeah.
Oh, bless. What's your favourite dinner that she does? Or if you just told me what it is, Yorkshire pudding.
Yeah,
Does she do really big ones?
yeah,
And do they come out all fluffy and nice?
yeah.
Oh, it does sound nice. I don't suppose she'd want to invite me round for one, would she at all?
No.
No. Why
Guess
is that,
what?
George?
Guess what I'm talking to you on?
You sound like you're locked away in a cupboard so your nan don't know you're calling me.
No, guess what I'm talking to you on?
I don't know.
My Amazon device.
Oh, are you really?
Yeah.
So you can people call me from an Amazon device? How do they do that then? Oh, that's interesting to know.
It's actually they have to enable the Skype on the app.
Oh, you can get Skype on the Amazon, can? Well, I never knew that. So
I didn't. I was just flicking through on YouTube. You can call people on Skype on the Echo Dot.
well, that's worth knowing. And now let me have a look. Let me just open my Amazon app. It's a shame I can't show people how this works, right? Amazon app opened. Okay, if you want to try this yourself, we'll bring up.
Skills.
Where is it now? Here we are. Yes. So Amazon. Well, how was that now? So Amazon app opened. Bring up skills. So you touch that thing there, right? Okay, skills and games. There we are. Skills and games, and then you'll have a search somewhere, won't I?
Yeah, you have to put in Skype.
What's that? Oh, dismiss. Okay, it's suggesting something there. Okay, search thing here. Search Skype. SKYPE. Skype calling. Click on Skype calling. There it is. Look at that. Well, where is it then? Hasn't come up. Oh, that hasn't come up. Maybe I just type in Skype. Hang on. Let's just type in Skype and search for that. Skype. Well, I don't know how you've managed to find it because I can't find it. Is that what you typed in? Skype?
Yeah.
Well, I haven't got it come up.
Well, if you YouTube it, shows you how to do it.
Okay, well, people can YouTube that. Oh, well, I never knew you could call from one of those, George. Anyway, yeah. So where are you at the moment? Are you in your room?
Yes.
Are you under the bedclothes or something?
No.
Oh, so your nan could be listening to you talking to me now. You're going to get into trouble.
And?
Well, you might not get your dinner tomorrow. You might not get your Yorkshire pudding. What else does she do? Is that your favourite meal from your nan?
She does another thing called meat pudding.
Meat pudding. Oh, I remember having those. They were delicious. Steak and kidney. You can get vegetarian versions, and it's with the what's that stuff called around the outside of a meat pudding?
Suet.
What's it?
Suet.
Suet. Oh, suet puddings. Fray Bentos you do them, don't they? They're delicious. They are. I wonder if they do a Fray Bentos vegetarian one. I wonder if they do one of those.
So I had to laugh though.
I wonder if they do. Steak and kidney beans? No. Oh, yeah, they do. They do it. They do it. Here we are. And it's in Tesco's. Fray Bentos vegan steak and kidney bean. Oh, it's a pie. Oh, that's a pie. Oh, don't they do a pudding? Oh, I used to love those. Here we are. Oh, they do Fray Bentos vegan bolognese. Oh. Vegetable pie. Fray Bentos steak pudding. No, they don't do it. See, I didn't know anyone really that liked the bits of kidney. You'd always get this stuff and then you'd be picking the bits of kidney out. I never liked kidney, did you?
No.
No. Because kidney, all your wee goes through kidneys, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't like the idea of eating someone's wee.
No, I don't.
No. Well, thank you, George.
I thought I'd better tell you about that.
Yeah, thank you for letting us know about the Yorkshire puddings. Cheerio now.
Yeah, and cheerio.
Bye. There we are, George calling in now, as he always does. Thank you, George. Let's read some of your messages on the subject of what you like your very last meal to be. Execution, says Mandy. Thank you, Mandy. I knew you'd know that one. We might have to upgrade you, Mandy. Head of pain and suffering and executions. Steve Murray. His last meal would be steak well done with onions, mushrooms, chips and peas. That's not a bad meal, Steve. When I used to go to the Bernie... Do you remember Bernie Inns? They were steaks, weren't they? They used to go to one in Wimbledon. My mum had her handbag nicked in there. She did. She had it just across the back of her chair, and then these boys came, or people came in and sort of suddenly run out the door, and she didn't think anything more of it until she went for her bag and it was gone. Burnley Inn, Aberdeen Angus Steakhouse, and Harvester. Well done steak and chips I used to have with peas. That's what I used to have, Steve. Yeah, Fran would have lasagna and garlic bread. Very nice, Fran. And for pudding, bread and butter pudding for Fran. Roy Brownlow would order 300 McDonald's. Take me another year to eat them. I don't think it works like that. Paul in Enfield. Hello, Paul. Paul in Enfield's here. Good evening, Paul. It's called a lethal injection. I think you're right. Lethal injection. And he would have a great big gut-busting English breakfast. Oh, it's Paul Dow. Hello, Paul. Sorry, Paul Dow. I'll have to rename you, Paul, because you're there. Well, I'll remember now. Paul in Enfield. English breakfast. Nice, Paul. Nice, Paul. Mick Davenport, fish and chips, followed by chocolate sponge and mint custard. Not too. I don't think I'd be too keen on the mint. Just a minute. I've got a blooming wire under. Can I just do something? There's a wire. I've caught a wire with my foot here. One minute. Oh, what's this on the floor here? There's a wire hanging down here, and it's right in my bleeding way. It is. Hang on a minute. Just a second. There we are. It's such a mess of cables under there. All audio cables and stuff under there. Yeah, mint custard. I wouldn't be too keen on that, to be honest. Am I looking a bit pink today? I think I'm looking a bit pink, am I? I don't know. Mint custard. It's like that mint shampoo. Have you ever used that? Oh, don't use that. You put it, it starts tingling your bits. They start tingling. Biggest thrill I've had all year, to be honest. Thank you, Mick. Rachel would have lots and lots of Black Forest Gatto. You're all being very, very naughty tonight. No main meal, just the Black Forest Gatto. Clarissa. It's normally the night before, as Uncle Albert explained to my granddad that a lot of prisoners throw up just before they were led to the gallows. I should think they did. What a frightening thing that is, though. You ever seen any of those films? They get to the last bit and they have to walk along. Oh, my God, it's just awful. Awful. Mike in Brighton. My death row meal would be 2 slices of white toast with potato waffles and a fried egg, runny with ground pepper and ketchup, followed by strawberries, meringue and ice cream with the Chris Reardon show playing in the background. Yummy. That's quite an extensive list there. I'm not sure they'd allow you to have all that, would they? Mandy, thanking us for the promotion. That's all right, Mandy. Mandy is now in charge of pain and suffering and executions on this channel. We look forward to the first one. Amelia Phillips, a veggie sausage toad in a hole. Yeah. Now, who makes those? I have those. Who makes the vegetarian sausage toad in the holes? They're nice, they are, aren't they? Beautiful. And pudding, apple crumble and custard. That's one of my favourites there. So thanks very much for that, gang. Mine, what would mine be? I told you my dinner would be probably chips from a chip shop. No French fries, dear. No McDonald's. I don't know. It's a good job they don't call them chips because they'd be done under the Trade Descriptions Act. Chips, please. French fries. Nothing like them, dear. They wouldn't have come out of a packet. I would have had to have someone peel them and chop them into proper chip bits and fried properly. Harry Ramsden's type thing. All right. So chips, spam fritter and baked beans, followed by treacle sponge and custard from Heinz. Treacle sponge and custard. It's all coming out. My glands are producing lots of saliva now. Are yours, Mark? All right. No main meal for Mandy. No main meal. Just give me a bottle of Jack Daniels and I'll go out happy. Roy says Skype's under the settings communications on Alexa. Well, I mean, I don't want to put that on there, do I? Oh, Christ, you lot will be calling me morning, noon and night if I have that bleeding thing on. So if anyone's got Skype there, Roy says it's under settings communications. Let's see if we can find it. Right, let's just close the app. So we open the Amazon app or the Alexa app. Where is it now? There it is. So what's he say? Under settings communications. Oh, communications. Well, where is it then? Maybe is it more? Okay, more settings, communication. Ah, there it is. There it is. Settings, communications. Look, there it is there. See? I don't know why EE are on there. I'm not with EE or Vodafone. Funny, isn't it? So you can do it on there. Look at that. Anyone else want to try that? Call us on Skype. On there. United Kingdom Talk is our Skype number there. Okay? Alrighty, gang. Let's move on a little bit here. We're going to run out of oxygen, according to the Daily Star. Yes. Be afraid. We need to start collecting air in bottles. Very bad. We need to start collecting our own air because we're going to run out of oxygen. Story in the Daily Star. The sun will destroy all animal and plant life on Earth in 1 billion years' time, according to the latest NASA research. And I intend to be here for 1 billion years, talking all the time, constantly. Always used to find it amusing when you get someone in the chat box say, "Why do you talk so much on a talk show?" What thickos some people really are, aren't they, eh? Oh, sorry, Vera. I've just set her Amazon device off. Sorry, Vera. Hello, Vera. You right, love? Vera is in the house. She's one of our newest players of the bingo there. Hope you all got your presents. Who won the bottle this week? Oh, it was Matt Gardner, wasn't it? Won a bottle this week, Matt. Anyway, it says oxygen will disappear from our planet's atmosphere as the star gets old and starts heating up, scientists predicted. Yeah, just like having a menopause, isn't it? The sun goes into a menopause and then starts getting all hot. Has that happened to any of you? Have you gone through the menopause yet? What about you, Vera? Have you gone through the menopause? Do you remember how hot you used to get, my love? What's going to happen to the sun? It says the sun will get heated up, scientists predict, and then the oxygen will start disappearing. This will see carbon dioxide in the air broken down, leaving plants unable to create oxygen via photosynthesis. This is very, very scientific, isn't it? It's like doing a biology lesson. Wow, what was her name? Mrs. Oh, she was a strange character. She was a big lady. Not fat, big, just big, you know? Mrs. Oh, I can't remember now. And we had one of those weird science-looking type people who was in biology as well, you know, with the long beard and like bit of grey hair around the outside. He looked like a mad scientist, our biology teacher. Can't remember the names now. It says animals would be wiped out with none able to adapt quickly enough to the changes in our atmosphere. This process will take 10,000 years, but it would return Earth to a time when it didn't have abundant oxygen, US and Japanese researchers says. We've got to start collecting air. Empty jars. If you get empty jars, when you finish your jars of marmalade and jam, you know, wash them out, then leave them open, put the lid on, don't open them again. Put them somewhere safe because you might need that jar of air at some point. Very important. They explained the ozone layer, which consists of oxygen and protects us from harmful UV light and heat, would completely vanish. This would see the extinction of all aquatic and terrestrial life. Well, Danny Woodhouse has had it then, hasn't he? Because he's living in a coral now. I'm not sure if he means under the water or in a betting shop. It would leave only anaerobic life, which doesn't use oxygen, and primitive bacteria hiding in the shadows, like Roy Brownlow. Primitive bacteria. It's all very worrying. So remember that story, gang? You need to start collecting air, because we're going to run out of air in a billion years' time. Very dangerous. Fran says, will that happen before or after lockdown? I don't know. All right, Vera. Have we got anyone new watching tonight? Probably not. We don't seem to attract anyone new to the show, do we? Why is that? I do wonder. Why don't anyone new come along? Dear me. Good news is I've had my... By the way, I've done my freezer. The freezer, I defrosted it. My God, that took 24 hours to defrost it. I had bowls of hot water, not hot water, but hot water I'm putting in my stand-up freezer type thing I've got, with a big door. It's got 6 drawers in it. And the bottom ones were sort of just took a few hours. But where the ice was worst was on the top. It was like concrete. And when you're defrosting freezers and that, never ever put things in there to try and break off the ice. You destroy the freezer. You've literally just got to let it go. I mean, I suppose you could do, I don't know, with a hairdryer. I mean, why bother? Just leave it. Leave the thing. I put a few towels in there, soaked up all the stuff, and it took over 24 hours to completely defrost. But it's done now. I'll give it a good wipe out. I didn't clean it, put any cleaning stuff in there. I don't think you're supposed to do that, are you? Like cleaning spray, certainly not bleach. It's just because then you'll be eating and breathing in all this bleach stuff, wouldn't you? I didn't use any spray at all. I basically just wiped it dry, left it a bit longer, and then I plugged it in just before I come on the show today now. So I'll be able to transfer the stuff back into there. All right. How are we doing there? Let's have a look. Anyone else want to call in now before I close the phone line? 0208 144 3477. You will find out, actually, if you ever try and call that number when we're not on, you'll probably get an answer phone, okay? And you can, if you want to, leave a message. I think you can leave a message on the answer phone. I'm not quite sure how that works. But it won't ring anywhere. You'll never get anyone answer it, okay? Did you ever get a bang on the head anywhere? Maybe you had a fight, knocked it when you fell over. I think we've all had a bang on the head at some point, haven't we? In the kitchen? Oh, you left that door open, didn't you, up there on the cupboard? And you stood up. Bang! Oh, the pain, dear. The pain. Rugby? Did anyone do rugby? I did rugby at school. I wasn't that involved until the very last year. And then for some reason I became interested in it. Probably the other boys playing the rugby. No, I became more interested in the game suddenly in my 5th year. And, I was the boy that there was a couple of us that used to just hang round the edge of the pitch. We didn't really want to get involved. Do you know what I mean? Didn't really want. And then in the 5th year, suddenly, I'll tell you what happened. I always remember. This ball, literally, I was doing my usual thing of just walking around the edge, trying not to get involved. And this bloody ball landed in front of me. And, of course, my side were all screaming at me, weren't they? Let's just take a call there. Finishing 8-5. Hello, who's on the line, please? Hello? Can you hear me?
Hello, Chris.
Hello, who's that?
Don't talk to me about the menopause. You men have got it very easy.
Who is that speaking?
It's Rachel
Hello, Rachel. Rachel
Wheatland.
Oh, it is you, Rachel Wheatland. Hello, darling. How lovely to have you on. I feel very privileged tonight to have you on the phone, Rachel. We've never spoken.
You men have got it so easy, don't you? I got a clue.
What do you mean, darling? I sit here constantly getting hot and cold, and then I realise it's the heating going wrong again.
How you doing? Are everybody in the chat box?
Oh, it's wonderful to hear your voice, Rachel. Really wonderful. Tell us about the menopause. So for you, what age did that... Because I remember my mother going through it, you know, but she never really...
It started about 2 years ago.
Right. What age? Do you want to say the age? You don't have to, whatever you want.
Well, I'm coming up to 50, so
Right,
started
okay.
in 48, 49.
Right, okay. Is that a roundabout average age for it to happen?
I think so, yeah, I don't know.
Okay. And what are the symptoms?
Oh, 1 minute you're sweating like a pig, next minute you're freezing cold.
Oh, it's not very pleasant, is it?
Where I work, I'm working away mopping the floor, and all of a sudden I'll have sweat running down my back.
And you haven't even had a curry. Oh dear, well my heart goes out to you. Do they start giving you pills, or did you just go through it and be done with it?
No, I'm just going to go through it and be done with it.
Yeah, I think that's wise, to be honest. I don't think
I could take it. Apparently this HRT is supposed to make you feel a lot worse.
Oh, is that right? Well, why bother taking it in the first place? I'm a great believer in not taking anything really, unless you have to, you know, to save your life. But you know, just for like a bit of convenience. And the same, I think, goes for headache tablets and things like that. Just put up with it, and it will go eventually. You know.
Oh, I'll take the old paracetamol for my headache.
You do, okay.
Yeah.
Sort of painkillers, that sort of thing. My mate takes a load of pills. He takes loads of them, you know. But if he gets something like a bit of pain or a headache or something like that, the first thing he'd do is reach for the bottle. Whereas, I mean, I've been very lucky over it. I don't really suffer from headaches. Do you much?
No, not really.
No, we're lucky, aren't we?
No. Yeah.
It's that lovely country air, Rachel.
Well, we're in town.
Oh, are you? Oh, I thought you,
Yeah.
for some reason I pictured you sort of in a bungalow with a bit of a large garden or something like that.
No, we're in a corner townhouse.
Oh, right, okay. I tell you what.
On the outskirts.
Well, I tell you what came in my email this morning. A lovely bungalow in Horncastle with a big garden. Big garden this had. And I was tempted. But you know the trouble I had last year when I was trying to move, and then it all became a little bit too much. That was part of it. I don't think I'm just attached to this house. Do you feel attached to your house, Rachel?
Yes, at the moment, yeah.
How long have you been there?
Yeah. 4 years now in this one.
Oh, okay, not far. Do you move? Have you moved?
We moved from a farm in the country up to a townhouse because it's easier for the schools.
Yeah.
And the kids' friends.
For the children, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you miss the country house?
Yeah, we had 2 acres down there.
Oh,
so
wow.
I miss all the scenery and the night skies and.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can't see many stars in that with these street lamps about.
No, you can at the caravan, I tell you. Wow. I see so much there, and of course that's the country, you know. And in a way, I've got another house, haven't I? Really, you know, where it is there. I've just joined the Chapel Hill. They've got a Facebook page now, which is quite interesting. All people asking various questions, and if you want something done, you can probably find someone on the site to do it. You know, as a sort of job and not be ripped off. I discovered there's an air conditioning serviceman who's living on there now as well. So that's handy because although I had that thing, the air conditioning cum heating thing put in a couple of years ago, it's never yet been serviced. So I'll probably have him out when I've got a bit of money and get him done with that. I expect he lives quite close by. Well, he would do. He's in one of the other caravans, you know.
Plus this COVID has stopped people from buying houses at the moment.
Oh,
hasn't it?
yes, yeah.
I think the market went down then. But it's all starting to come back up again now.
Yeah, I saw something in the paper the other day about the house prices increasing suddenly, or so I don't know what they're worth now, but certainly that bungalow, I did look at that one in Horncastle and I thought, oh, that's really nice. Really nice.
Horncastle's a nice place.
It is a nice place, yeah. But the trouble is, with buying a house with a field in front of it, you don't know what's going to happen to that field in 2 years' time.
You don't know.
I've seen a couple of people, friends of mine, who have bought similar things, and then suddenly a housing estate appears in front of you, literally.
Oh, they're doing that round here. They're building more and more houses, and yet the town's staying the same.
Yeah. What about the roads?
So we're at the doctors getting bigger. They ought to sort the towns out first.
Yeah.
Make sure there's enough doctors and
well, it's everything,
around
isn't it?
for the kids and adults.
Yeah, it's everything. Yeah, it's all very well, building a new housing estate and it'll have its little network of roads, but those roads feed onto the roads that you've already got. And unless they double the size of those, you know what's going to happen.
And the new residents, they ain't got nowhere to grip and go because there's nothing to do round it.
No, all the pubs are shutting. Have you lost many pubs around there? Do you go in pubs much at all?
No, I ain't been in a pub for years.
No. I mean, the one near my sister's, well, more nearer my caravan than my sister, was the Malcolm Arms. I talked about it the year before last it was, and we had a couple of meals in there. Very substantial sized meals. Oh, yes, you weren't hungry when you came out. And she did this, funnily enough, beautiful treacle sponge pudding with custard she did, which I mentioned earlier on. Oh,
Yum, yum.
Oh, we love that. Are you much of a cook, Rachel?
I cook, but I don't like my own cooking.
Do you not? What about your husband? He must
but
like it. Otherwise, he would have gone by now.
Just beans on toast.
Did you take outs? Do you go take outs at all much or not?
No, not really. No,
Me neither. No, I like to cook my own stuff.
And if we go out now and again, we'll probably go to McDonald's because it's easy.
Yeah.
Rather than send all the kids into a restaurant.
Yeah. Do your? I don't know if the children like the little cheese stick things. Do you like those?
I do, and the son does, but the girls don't.
Don't like them. No. I bought. They do two sizes. If you get the small one, there's like 3 in there. I mean, it's never enough, is it? So I bought the 12 one the other day.
The son likes his big box of 20 chicken nuggets.
I did give one to my mate and one to his other half. I had 10 of those cheese stick things. Oh, they're delicious. Dip them in a little bit of tomato sauce. Very nice.
Well, 10's okay because they're only small, aren't they?
Yeah, they're not that big. They're really not that big, but probably 10 of them was a little bit too much. But that was my only treat for the week. You see, the McDonald's. That was it. One.
When we go, my son likes his great big box of 20 chicken nuggets.
Does he have all 20? Does he?
He does. He'll eat a lot. He can eat and eat and eat and still stay very skinny.
Oh, I know what you mean. Yeah, but that's the age thing, isn't it? I was fine until 47 and then it just started piling on. And I wasn't eating any more than normal or any less. And my doctor says, it's because of your age. You don't need to eat as much.
No.
One of those things. The only thing that I've had off Slimmers World plan this week would be the McDonald's that I had on Saturday night, I think it was. Oh, we tripped up there as well. Of course, it was my turn to buy, wasn't it? Which seems to come around very often. I don't know why that is. So we ordered that. So we had that on Saturday, and then blowed me down Monday morning. I've come in here to do my little radio show, and there's an email from McDonald's, 30% off everything today. And I thought, if only that had come 2 days ago, I wouldn't have had it on the Saturday. Quite a saving. Yeah.
You could have saved a bit then.
Well, if you just buy for yourself, it's not too expensive, I don't think, McDonald's. I think it's okay. But once you start taking a family out and it's like, 20, 30 quid for something. The thing is, when we were kids, we never considered that a meal. Not at McDonald's. That was just a snack that you'd have between something that you ate, wouldn't it? We never sort of considered it a meal at all.
No. During the summer, we buy these big salads.
Oh yeah,
The crispy grilled chicken, dead animals.
dead animal, crispy grilled dead animals. Yeah, is that from McDonald's? Is it?
Yeah. It
Oh
comes in
right,
a big,
okay. Yeah,
It comes in
yeah.
a big tub, and you get your crispy chicken in there, and your lettuce and tomatoes and bits and bobs. It's
Yeah,
quite nice. And your
Nice.
balsamic vinegar sauce.
Oh yeah, that stuff. Yeah, I put that in one of my things that I do. In I think the spaghetti arrabetta. I put some of that vinegar in there at the end in the last sort of half an hour or something and mix it all in. Very tasty. Do you like spicy foods? Do you?
Not too spicy.
Yeah. You.
Hot, but not spicy.
But you do
No.
like Black Forest Gatto, do you?
Oh, I love Black Forest Gatto, yeah. And rum and raisin ice cream
Oh,
and
cakes. I love cakes. I like angel cake. Angel cake. And birthday cakes. Oh, I think I might have to have one of those on my last meal before going down to death row. A birthday cake. Yeah, proper one from, what's her name? Petite Valerie or something like that. They deliver all over, you know. Petite Valerie.
I don't think I've heard of them.
Yeah, they make cakes to order, and they come in the post wrapped in these little dry ice things, and very tasty indeed, Rachel.
What name was that?
Petite Valerie, it's called Petite Valerie.
Petite Valerie.
Yeah, not cheap, but really, I mean, I've never had a cake from them that I didn't like, especially that last one. I had the old birthday cake. You saw the size of it. I had that in 5 days.
I managed to eat that all by yourself. I don't know.
Quite easily, to be honest.
So it didn't make you sick.
Lovely to talk to you, Rachel.
And you, Chris,
Thank you ever
take
so much
care.
for calling in, and say hello to your family for me. Those are, I think your husband watches now and again, doesn't he?
He does. He's at work at the moment.
Is he?
All the
right.
kids are watching Frozen downstairs.
Again? How many times do they watch that?
Oh, Frozen?
Yeah.
Not that often.
Oh, don't they? Okay.
They used to when they were smaller.
Yeah.
But now they're teenagers. They like things like FNAF and all that lot.
yeah. Let it go, let it go. Thanks ever
these
so much,
animals.
Rachel. You have a nice evening, darling.
And you, Chris.
Bye-bye now. Oh, how lovely to speak to Rachel after all that time. She's been with the show for quite a few years now. Thank you, Rachel. Phone lines now closed, boys and girls. Thanks ever so much to all of you who called in tonight. Roy, Daniel, George and Rachel as well. Just a few final texts coming in tonight. Tony King, hello Tony, says, no one knew because of your name, Chris. Change it to Rick Reardon and they will come running, will they? Rick Reardon. Is that the case? I've got such a bad name doing this stuff now that no one's watching anymore. I need to change the name. Thank you, Tony. Fran says she went through the menopause at 26. That's early, isn't it? That is early. And Mike in Brighton says, I got the men all pause on the 23rd of March 2020. Can't wait till the lockdown ends. Oh, I know what you mean. Yeah. Have we got any more emails? Chris. Hello, Chris. Chris Lotz is in the house. Good evening, Chris. My last meal would be pork chops, apple sauce. My mum used to make her own apple sauce. Oh, it was delicious. Mum's apple sauce. Chopped up apples. She had this little metal thing. Like, she used this metal thing also to make puddings. You know, with suet. She'd make puddings in this little thing. And she used to make the apple sauce in it. She'd get an apple, chop it up, mix it, chop it all up and just put it in the oven and it would melt down to mush, wouldn't it? Lovely. Pork chops, apple sauce. And Chris would also have vanilla ice cream and chocolate syrup. Wow. I like the sound of that, Chris. Thanks very much. You send in an email. He says, sorry about the email because he lives so far away. Don't want to pay for the phone call, type bastard. Oh, dear. Is that all the emails? I want to read out your last lots of stuff. I think that's all it. There's that. Oh, there it is. Do you want to see that house? I've got to show you this. Right, this is a bungalow. Oh, why can't I see that? Oh, there it is. Okay, I've got to show you this. What is it? 325,000. This is. Right, look at this. Wow. I don't dare start looking at places again because I think it will come to it and I'll back out again. Look at that. It's in Horncastle. Isn't that lovely? Got double garage at the back there. My nephew always had a big bit of land as well there. Ever so nice that is. 325 that is. I may or may not get that for this house. I don't know. It's actually greyed out. Does that mean it's sold? I wonder. I don't know. It's greyed out now. Beautiful house that is. Alrighty, I'm going to disappear now, boys and girls. Thanks ever so much for joining us on the show on this Wednesday night. We've got another chat show for you on Friday night at 8 o'clock. Remember, the chat shows now are Monday, Wednesday and Friday at 8 o'clock on this channel, okay? Now, if you're not doing anything later on, our very, very good friend Alan Ross will be on the radio tonight at midnight. He's a lovely listen. If you're laying there in bed or sitting in the living room, turn the telly off and give Alan Ross a listen tonight at midnight. Reachonair.com, which you can also listen on one of your devices. Google Mini Speaker, Siri plays it, or Alexa. Sorry Vera, I've just set her Alexa off again, haven't I? Then enable the app first, and that'll do there. All right. Thank you to Shania, says thank you for the show. That's all right, Shania. Fran says bye, Chris, take care. And Rachel said she thought she had the wrong number because I sounded different on the phone. Do I sound different? Maybe that's just the way it works like that. Anyway, enjoy the rest of your evening. Thanks for watching and listening. I'll be back with you tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock on reachonair.com. 9 o'clock, reachonair.com. Enjoy the rest of your night. See you soon. Bye-bye now.